Welcome to Vocabulary TV. This is our 20th video on the popular series on roots, prefixes and suffixes. The theme for this video are the Latin roots set and sid, which mean to sit or settle, and several words as seen hanging on the tree branches can be easily memorized using this root connection. As an intro, one of the most common words derived out of the root set is sedan, which popularly refers to a car which can seat 4 or more people in which one can sit comfortably. Now that you can connect with the root sedare, which means to sit, our first word based out of it is sedentary. The word is commonly used to describe a person who tends to spend most of his time seated and is somewhat lazy and inactive. Such a sedentary person who sits on the couch all day long and does nothing could also be called a couch potato or a slob. The same word could also describe someone's lifestyle or some work which is characterized by much sitting and little physical exercise. And we all know that a sedentary lifestyle spells bad news for one's hips and thighs and eventually for one's health. Further, with a little variation in the spelling of this root, sedare would mean that you have got seated comfortably or settled in your position. A derived word is sedate. This word is mostly used as a verb. For example, when someone is very anxious or unsettled or even sleep deprived, a doctor would generally sedate that person, which means the doctor would try that the person settles down and becomes calm and goes to sleep. In the process, the doctor would probably administer the patient a sedative drug or a medicine which induces a calming effect and makes the patient sleep sometimes. The word sedative could be used as a noun as well as adjective. Usage examples would be: the child had to be sedated before the dentist could operate on her teeth, and people who suffer from insomnia or sleeping problems are generally administered sedatives by doctors. Here, sedative is used as a noun. However, the word sedate could also be used as an adjective to describe something that is well settled in its routine, something which is very calm and unhurried and unruffled and dignified. Like for example in this sentence, in the olden days, life went on at a rather sedate pace, which in today's hurried environment can be experienced only in certain rural or suburban villages and towns. Our next word is sedulous. Though this word is probably not connected to the root set as such, but as a memory aid, this root is useful, and since the word contains the letters SED, let's try relating it to the meaning sit. The word sedulous would describe a person who would have good sitting habits, that is, one who is painstaking and hardworking. A sedulous person is someone who shows a lot of dedication and diligence towards his job. Like in this clip, we can see a sedulous boy engrossed in his studies. Another common word derived from the word root sed is sediment. The word generally refers to matter that settles to the bottom of a liquid, also known as dregs. Though the same word can also refer to the activity of sedimentation. We can see that in this wine glass, sediments have settled down to the bottom. And something that is related to sediments, like probably a rock that got formed over the ages due to sediment deposited by water or air, would be called as a sedimentary rock. Shale, sandstone, gypsum, limestone are all examples of sedimentary rocks. And the last word based on the root sed is supersede. Since super means above and sede means to sit, the word supersede literally means to sit above. In fact, the Latin word supersedere means to be superior to. Well, if someone or something sits above another, it basically takes the place of the original and replaces it or succeeds it, which is what the word supersede means. For example, over time, the older models of the car get superseded by newer, more advanced and efficient models. And now, let's introduce the word root sid, which again means to sit, and the most common words based on this root are preside or reside. Well, preside literally means to sit before, and as we know, someone who presides over is the one who is in the position of authority in a meeting or other gathering. And one who presides over or is the head of a state or even a society, council or other organization is aptly called the president. Moving on to the next word, reside literally means to sit back and remain in a particular place. That is, to have one's permanent home in a particular place. The place where one resides on a long-term basis is called residence, and the persons who inhabit that place are called residents. A related adjective would be residential, such as residential plots. With that intro, now let's have a look at some tricky ones. If we prefix the word root sid with dis, we get the word dissident. Since dis means apart and the word root sidere means to sit, the word dissident literally means to sit apart. And one who sits apart is the one who disagrees with you or probably differs in opinion or character. To put it straight, if there is a crowd who says I agree, a dissident would be the one who would say I disagree and in fact oppose you. Looking at the dictionary meaning, the word dissident means a person who opposes official policy, especially that of an authoritarian state. Though in the same meaning, the word could also be used as an adjective. As an example, I would like to quote one of the prominent events which were extensively covered by media from last year 2015, wherein we saw eminent writers and intellectuals trying to air their dissident voices and protest by returning their Sahitya Akademi awards. Now, if we form a noun out of the word referring to such a disagreement, the word would be dissidence, and an example would be, I believe such dissidence encourages healthy discussions on relevant issues and helps us uphold our civic rights and liberties in the long run. Next word is assiduous. The word is an exact synonym of sedulous. As to its connection with the word root, at prefix means to, towards or near. Sid means sit and us is a suffix depicting someone's nature. So assiduous literally describes a person who sits near to his project work till the time it's complete. Such a person shows great care and perseverance in any activity that they undertake. For instance, we can say that he is a very assiduous chap as he thoroughly researches any subject before preparing his project report. The related noun is assiduity, which will refer to such a quality of paying constant or close attention to what one is doing. Look at the kid working on his laptop. The assiduity with which he is working on his project is totally admirable. Another interesting word derived from sid is insidious. This one is difficult to memorize otherwise, and I see students confusing insidious with words like invidious all the time. So pay attention to the memory aid. Sedare means sit and in means on. So insidious literally means to sit on and wait for something. In fact, the Latin word insidere means to lie in wait or ambush for something. The word has a totally negative connotation and very true to its literal meaning. An insidious enemy or an insidious problem is one which proceeds in a gradual, subtle way but with very harmful effects. For example, we may say that female infanticide, dowry, domestic violence, etc. are serious and insidious problems that may spell disaster for any society. Closer to the end of this video, we have the word subside, which literally means to settle below. You would have heard this word in phrases like the storm or the typhoons has subsided, which means it has become less intense, violent or severe. Or even the floods have subsided, which means the water has gone down to a lower or normal level. And last, we have the word subsidence, which is an extension of the previous word in meaning. Subsidence is the gradual caving in or sinking of an area of land. An example sentence would be, property advisors have advised against buying any house on this land as it is prone to subsidence. Now test your understanding of the words learnt in this lesson by filling in the blanks below. It is recommended that you pause the video when the timer starts. And that brings us to the end of this video. Hope you liked it. Subscribe our channel and stay tuned for more such videos. Thank you.